Ever since the pandemic hit, just been an overflowing of just guns. I actually lost my older brother named Ronald due to gun violence.
That loss, that grief you feel, it's hard to describe because you know it's something that can be prevented.
I believe that we can make a difference and we can make the change in our community by being educated. Range is hot.
As of October 1st, 2024, there were 841 shootings in the city of Philadelphia. About 21% were fatal. But there's a growing group of folks in the city who, instead of shying away from guns, are leaning in, despite having been impacted by gun violence.
How many people in the room, by the show of hands, someone in your family has been affected by gun violence?
Carice Crew and her husband Jarrell are the founders of That Gun Talk, a firearm safety organization they say teaches responsible gun use. The couple says they aren't trying to completely solve gun violence or end it, but provide harm reduction education resources to a community that's been deeply impacted by these deaths. They started the organization after Carice was robbed in the city.
All of us are here for you.
Just because you own a firearm doesn't mean that you take yourself to danger.
We met up with them as they hosted an educational workshop and open-range shooting day for Philly teens and young adults outside the city.
Whenever you're handling a firearm, your safety brain has to always be on. It only takes one press of the trigger to take someone's life away, correct? Demonstration looks like this. Get my stance, I aim, focus, make my shot.
Right now, gun violence remains the main cause of death for kids and teens, according to Johns Hopkins. And while some advocates call for a ban on some or all firearms, there's research that shows increasing responsible gun education and storage can reduce the number of suicides, thefts that contribute to the illegal gun market, and unintentional killings.
Before to bring it out.
Pull back and push the slide latch up.
I think some people on the outside looking in might think, well, if you want gun violence to go down, get rid of all the guns. What's your response to that?
How would that happen? What are they going to do? Go raid everybody's house?
Good. All right, range is hot. We're shooting. Range is hot. Criminals will always have access to firearms. And if you get rid of your firearm, then, God forbid, if you had to defend your life or your family, how would you be able to do that?
86% of fatal gun-related instances in the city have involved men, and more than half of the victims were under the age of 30.
Growing up in Philly was kind of rough. You definitely had to adapt to, environment.
Isaiah is 22 years old and is studying media at Morgan State University.
Learn from the best.
But when he's back home, he likes to spend time with his family at his uncle's pizza shop.
How you doing, Mom?
It's not too much, it's just right.
Just right?
Just right.
Isaiah lost his brother Ronald to gun violence just last year. He said he found out about his death on the Citizen app, but didn't know the exact circumstances around how his brother died, describing it as street violence.
What was he like?
He was a thorough, a big burst of laughter. You could always get a joke out of him. He was just a fun guy to be around.
Because of the tragedy, Isaiah says he bought a gun, got his license, and he says he goes to the shooting range once a month, completely leaning into gun culture since his brother passed away.
Why did you want to own a gun?
Just to ensure my safety, not only for me, but also for my family.
According to a new Stay Tuned poll, 58% of Gen Z voters think new gun laws would reduce gun violence in the U.S. But Isaiah says a candidate's stance on gun ownership matters.
Someone that doesn't, restrict guns at all, but have some restriction, but not full restriction. Like taking guns away. Of course, taking it off the streets.
Why is that a top priority for you when you're looking for a candidate?
Safety. Safety. You want to be secure where you live.
On the path to defeating Donald Trump.
He voted for President Biden in 2020, but says he's still undecided on who he's going to support this year. Both Vice President Harris and former President Trump have different approaches to how they handle the gun issue.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
With Harris saying she'll do things like ban assault weapons and support red flag laws, while Trump banned bump stocks when he was president, but says he'll roll back on Biden's firearm regulations.
She wants to take away your guns. You like that, right?
So right now, from
when that only registers, and that's something that we can work on to try to see.
Councilmember Jeffrey Young Jr. also grew up in Philly. Now he's an elected official working to help his community directly.
I lost my nephew to gun violence 2 years ago now, and it still sits with me every day because I know those things are preventable.
What's the current state of gun laws in Pennsylvania?
In Pennsylvania, I like to describe it as the Wild West. City of Philadelphia City Council passed a law banning bump stocks. It was signed into law the week after the Supreme Court basically reversed the federal ban on bump stocks. And so now the City of Philadelphia is being sued by an attorney here in Pennsylvania who basically is suing us on the premise that Philadelphia has no right to regulate any gun laws whatsoever in the state of Pennsylvania because we are preempted by the state of Pennsylvania. So we cannot regulate any gun laws here in Philly. So as a councilman, what I've been doing is just advocating for victims of gun violence.
Gun violence in Philly is a problem that's impacting communities of color at a disproportionate rate, with 80% of victims identifying as Black. But there has been a decrease in homicides in the city. 173 have been recorded this year, down 38% from 2023.
I think there is a lot of trauma and sadness within the Black community and guns, with police shootings, school shootings, community shootings. How do you reconcile those two things?
Police, communities, politicians, we have to bring people together to work on these issues. When you have people that come into your chapter whose family has been negatively affected by gun violence, to see the hurt on them, but to see the resilience in them as well, how they've bounced back from those situations, which could have turned them totally away from firearms, but made them come closer to understand that, man, I have to be able to, in some way or form, protect myself and my family.
All right, so what's your name again?
Isaiah.
Isaiah, why don't you show everybody?
Your brother was murdered using these weapons, but you're still so dedicated to being educated and still using this in a safe way.
You know, having a forgiving heart, you know, and just moving forward with your life. But also, you know, having safety first and just protecting yourself and protecting your family. De-escalation is important. And I also go hand in hand with self-control, you know, and just choosing a different path and just sticking towards that.
Tell me about your shirt.
Councilman Bull. Yeah, this is Philly slang. Bull is basically a synonym for a male. But just describes who I am. So, you know, that's a way that they can identify me with them. I'm from their same community. I understand the same struggles they're going through. I've lived it, but I can show you a different way. I can show you what the value of life is outside of the streets, outside of picking up a gun.